As the last sign, Pisces has absorbed the lessons of everyone: joy, pain, hope, and fear. Therefore, when someone tries to stir up anger in them, they don't strike back. Their sensitivity turns someone else's harshness into a mirror and returns it to its owner with a quiet wave of understanding. Their compassion doesn't justify an action. It reveals its cost so clearly that there's nowhere to hide. And to ensure this wave is healing rather than destructive, Pisces doesn't drown in emotions, but directs them toward a clear conclusion. Thus, the evil hurled at them returns to its source not as a scream, but as an undeniable truth. Today, we'll talk about the powers of Pisces, which protect them from negativity and make any shadow visible. Let's start with the fact that they don't attack. They level the playing field. Pisces seem to absorb someone else's anger, allow it to subside, and return it in a quiet but powerful wave. This wave washes away what the other has done. It cannot be stopped, because it is not new anger, but a natural result. What goes around comes around. Having done harm to a Pisces, a person inevitably encounters its other side, and then begins to wonder why it hurts so much. They are mirrors of words and intentions. When harsh or tactless phrases are thrown at them, Pisces do not retaliate. They carry the sound deep down, where it loses its edge, and return it as a clear echo. Look what you've done. Their silence becomes a mirror in which every note can be heard. They do not seek revenge. They show the value of words, and this truth is heavier than any scream. Thus, someone else's rudeness returns to its source not as an insult, but as a lesson difficult to turn away from. And this is precisely how they return evil, not with rage, but with an understanding that forces them to hear their own words and choose to repeat them or to change. Another form of protection is careful selection of people. Pisces don't judge a book by its cover, but they also don't waste energy on hundreds of superficial relationships. They choose depth. A few close, reliable people are more valuable than a crowd of casual acquaintances. They give their attention, warmth, and time to those they trust, and this becomes a shield, stronger than any grand pronouncements. Their memory is like the ocean floor. The guilt of others is reflected in Pisces as if in a clear mirror, and things said and done don't disappear. They settle to the bottom. There, they weigh down and await their moment. Then, on the most unexpected day, a wave of memory rises and brings everything to the surface. And this is especially painful, because the truth emerges precisely when a person is defenseless. Masks fall, and it becomes clear who started it all. This is the most powerful reminder without words. Their tears are not a sign of weakness, but a language of meaning. Sometimes Pisces simply cry, and these tears are like a letter. They clearly show what has been done and what has been lost. There is no screaming, only the fact of pain. This letter returns to the one who caused the suffering and resonates longer than any argument. When the tears dry, the meaning remains, and without it, life can no longer be lived as before. They know how to go within, to a place where negativity has no power. Pisces easily immerse themselves in their thoughts, to a depth beyond the reach of outside noise. Yes, their idealism and rich imagination sometimes push them to see the world through rose-colored glasses. It can be difficult for them to separate fact from fantasy, as is from as should be, but this same ability helps them heal and rebuild themselves after blows. The main thing is not to lose ground in reality, and they are learning to do this. Their sensitivity is a strength, not a death sentence. The most recognizable trait of Pisces is sensitivity, but mistaking them for weaklings is a mistake. Under the right circumstances, they can cry. Their emotions are strong and honest, but more often, they rely on imagination and ideals to rise from loss and disappointment. When the going gets tough, they seek out positive supports, care, warmth, simple joys, and gradually reject harmful substitutes. Their idealism hardens the heart. Over time, they become soft on the outside and strong on the inside. They transform poison into a lesson. Pisces separate the poison thrown at them from its excuses and return it as a warning signal. Look what you've done and where it's leading. This signal is heard from within. It can't be silenced. Therefore, Pisces' response is inevitable, an understanding that cannot be unseen. At the same time, they believe that there is something good in everyone and offer a chance for improvement. But this chance requires honesty. Their empathy is a precise weapon, not pity. Their empathy doesn't deflect blow with blow. It translates it into pure feeling and returns it without noise or masks. In this return, the most important thing is heard. What exactly hurts the one who caused the pain? No excuses can drown out this clarity. It sounds like the alarm bell of conscience. And then the choice becomes obvious, to acknowledge and change, or to continue hurting oneself and others. Pisces continue to believe in the good, but they don't confuse faith with permissiveness. They act like the tide of time. Pisces come and go, leaving pauses between waves. In these pauses, a person is alone with themselves and relives their decision, now without the excitement and adrenaline. The ebb tide reveals the bottom and reveals what exactly it raised in the storm. The next wave brings its not a blow, but an understanding of the price that must be paid. Guilt slowly and inexorably reveals itself, like a shore after water. Their justice is about protecting the weak. Cruelty and injustice toward the vulnerable wound Pisces deeply, sometimes to the point of rage. They accept the pain of others as their own. Witnessing cruelty, especially toward the innocent, is like dropping poison into clear water. Pisces' compassion is unwavering. Both quiet grief and righteous anger well up within. These images linger in their memory and either push them to seek immediate help or force them to retreat into silence to process what they've seen and come back stronger. Their revenge is healing. Pisces don't strike back. They change the trajectory of pain. By accepting someone else's anger, they cleanse it of excuses and return it not as a wound, but as a clear signal. Look what hurts inside you. This signal doesn't destroy walls. It illuminates the cracks, revealing the root cause. The one who sent the evil understands where they went wrong and why. At this moment, revenge becomes an opportunity to acknowledge their pain, stop the chain, and choose a different path. Thus, the returned evil becomes the beginning of healing, not the continuation of destruction. The end is a choice that cannot be avoided. Ultimately, Pisces return evil not for the sake of destruction, but to give a person a choice, to remain in the dirt or to look at themselves honestly and change their path. This is precisely why their response seems the most frightening to those unprepared to face the truth. It doesn't hit, but rather places them in front of a mirror from which they cannot escape. But for those who are ready, it is a door out to smooth water where you no longer want to throw stones. Thank you for being with us. If this power of gentle truth resonates with you, please support the video, subscribe, and share it with those who need it now. Ahead are new stories about signs and their quiet ways of changing the world.